The customer is prepared to pay a certain amount towards that value. Convenience, speed, accessibility, and all these things. Even the ambience. Are you prepared to pay X amount towards the ambience? And use conjoint, studies, research. So you can list down the values, and ask customer whether he's prepared to pay for a little bit of peace of mind, a little bit of, especially when it comes to insurance. You have customers who are prepared to pay toward legal fees and things like that because they don't want to go through going to the police. So you can set out the values, the qualities, or the service, in a ranking order, and ask people to indicate how much they want to pay for a particular service. Are you with me? So they will be taking it. Are you prepared to pay for maybe we doing the police rounds for you? How much are you prepared to pay? They indicate. Then you know that they are prepared to pay a little bit higher for a particular service. That's for value. And I think it makes more sense because that's much more customer driven. The other ones are competitor and then firm centered. But this is much more customer driven. So if you are talking about customer centric approach, perhaps this is much more of better value to the firm. So possible sources of value, brand name of insurance provider. So is someone prepared to pay a little bit more for being with maybe enterprise? Why do you think it's necessary for people to pay for brand names? Or why do you think customers will pay for brand names anyway? Peace of mind. They are sure of the delivery. You understand? They are sure of the delivery. That's why it makes it difficult for new entrants. Brand names make it difficult for new. I mean, if you walk in, say that you move from here to a place like, let's say, some strange place like Croatia or, alright? Yes. Surely, you will move to McDonald's if you see McDonald's. Other than going to see Rakma. You understand? You move to McDonald's because you're sure of standardized, quality levels, you're sure of standard, you're sure of safety, you're sure of all of it. So customers are prepared to pay for brand name. Convenient location of bank branch, sure. I wouldn't want to move from Lagos town. Honestly, whenever I think of going to the city, I start dreading it. So the traffic alone. So it got to be EcoBank, although I don't like it. Whenever you give me account to pay money to you, I ask you, is it EcoBank? Because it's there, it's on campus. I'll just move across to Pentagon. Because paying money to someone. You see, that's the problem. So you guys, you see, you have EcoBank there. Oh, Snapchat, I should say, because it just.
Don't worry, Rachel will also come there.
Yeah. So whenever you ask me to pay money for someone, I ask for the Snapchat, Barclays, HFC is there, yes. Immediately you give me Unibank, I said, oh my God, what have I Seriously, let me tell you something. I've got to pay some guys some money, right? His bank is Unibank. And I keep on telling listen, until you give me a different bank, you're not getting your money.
What's a new branch at this
East Lagos. Really?
Oh, so you have to withdraw the money from your EcoBank account?
I've got to get the money to
from your EcoBank account?
Yeah, I love to do online. But unfortunately, the online banking here is not as sophisticated. So I'm sort of like
online banking.
Breathe,
No, I mean online banking. This is only an application for the mobile.
So if someone can promise me very active, reliable online banking, I will move to them.
Oh, then you know, let me introduce you to
until we have strong computer guys who can hack into their systems.
Yeah.
You'll see that it's got
To be honest, if I can have a promise bank that can deliver on internet.
Zenith.
Innovation.
Yeah.
Now we want a global one
for online. Really?
Innovation, Zenith.
Yes. Okay.
For online banking.
Have you guys got demos?
Oh. Ghanaian awards.
No, we don't
It's
do
international.
Ghanaian awards.
It's not international.
That's not true.
Do you guys have demos so I can watch and see that?
Do you have?
Or you can just go online. Just
Online. Yeah. Because honestly, it's headache if you have to move from campus. You know, because there's
We are beginning at the kitchen.
After I said you should go online, I was like, oh, what's the application? So you don't know why I'm bringing the application.
No.
I just need to go online. They have that fees and all that.
so you have to bring it. Online access to credit card transaction information, friendly customer services. These are all things that customers are prepared to pay for, premium. So price is equal to base price of the product plus the value of additional features. So you ask customers to take how much they want to pay for a particular thing. So example of value-based pricing, yes. Average cost of auto insurance for 30-year-old female is here. Added value. So you ask the person to take. The top ranking by third-party organization is 10 Ghana. So you have to pay for that if you bet. Recognized brand name 15 Ghana. Ability to modify policy online. Again, mobile agent will come to you. So the customer will be taking which one they think they will pay for, and then you add it to the plan. So you have all those, and like you said, content analysis can help you to do that. Do consumer survey. Do you use those things?
No.
You don't use those things.
All these things you can get them for free.
Really?
From what?
And you haven't factored them anyhow into
No.
No, who says you can get them for free?
Oh.
How come Snapchat can afford to charge some?
We are talking about insurance.
For us, we don't do the parity prices.
I mean,
No, but-
third party
But
organization.
don't you guys charge for courtesy car?
No.
Some companies.
I think the new quality insurance
But
for the
the
killing. You pay extra.
Yeah, if you want extra, so those ones like you want the courtesy car, you want certain.
Well, how much is your excess? If you're giving these free.
Yeah, what you want.
Because the catch will be in the excess, you see. That could be the catch.
And then for those ones who have introduced the quick claim settlement.
Yeah.
So that one you pay a But for things like when an agent has to come, it's not right to get your business.
So you don't get it. Okay. So again, that means the competition, the market could also be a factor. Whether this one will fly or not.
Because I get the feeling the quick claim,
Yeah.
something like this has been factored in. Because otherwise, why should the claim delay if all documentation are clearly provided?
Yeah. That's right.
First, you don't even want to buy the insurance in the first place.
Yeah, source of value in financial services, yeah. So, value created and value destroys. Well, clearly, if you have a high APR, people want to shun your credit card. Simple as that. Yeah. I'm sure we can go through this later. So, that is the percentage rate, is it? The annual percentage rate of it. Common pricing practices in financial services: credit products, savings accounts, investment and brokerage services, insurance products. So with credit cards, the price of credit products are what's credit? So you have the dimension time frame, revolving versus non-revolving credit, which is the loan versus the credit card stuff and all those. Collateralized and non-collateralized. I'm sure some of these things we can just go through. So Credit card is revolving and non-collateralized because obviously you don't set collateral on credit cards. Unless of course here we do. We don't. So pricing of credit consideration. High rates apply to non-collateralized, obviously, because it's a risk exposed. So you've got to make sure that you make yourself protected. Various dimensions to price for credit, interest rate penalties, processing fees. We charge all those things.
What's the processing fee? Something I don't get.
Which bank are you? No, which bank are you?
It's a mortgage. But you guys charge for processing fees.
No, it's not like
The bank.
Yeah.
If you're a customer and I'm coming for a loan,
Yeah.
you in the first place you'll be getting the interest
Yeah.
is the profit to you.
Yeah.
Why don't you charge me processing fee? For
Can you
what?
guys answer?
Please come again.
Yeah. He's querying it there.
What the
Processing fee.
Processing
Sometimes the processing fee alone takes chunk of
Take
your
from the chunk of the loan.
loan you are getting.
For what?
Oh no, you can't say that.
What the
It's for what?
Give me a
You're
percentage.
charging
Give me a
me.
percentage.
What is the percentage? Fine.
It's for what?
It depends.
No, we
But
are.
then
That's
the
not
percentage is
what
one
the percentage
percent.
is.
Mortgage
Give me a
loan, mortgage
percentage.
loan.
Yes, really, but try to get all the
The percentage
I want to hear
I
what
think
you
they went
did.
for a mortgage loan of 60,000 or 250,000. The processing fee alone is about 200 and something.
Really?
some percentage.
That's all we have. If you can get me a percentage.
I'll just 2.5.
Where you given a percentage? You were just given that figure.
I was comparing with the banks that give good mortgage policies. I tried Fidelity.
Yeah.
Then they introduced Stanbic. If you want to do a commercial thing, Stanbic are the best one.
Who introduced this time? Fidelity or someone?
That'll be strange.
No, I have
That's
someone. But the person who introduced me to what I wanted to do was a Fidelity bank guy.
Yeah.
He was in charge of their mortgage, but what I wanted to do, he said, if I should contact Stanbic, they are good with the commercial projects. But the yes are more with the individual ones. But the processing fees.
I'm the one going to get
I'm yet to understand the
the
processing
process of
fee.
it. You guys have to come again. That's what he means. You have to come again with
Because
it.
I spoke to a friend who works with insurance, life insurance company. What he was telling me is, sometimes would we prefer that I was saying that the contract,
Yeah.
see, usually they print the thing in small
Yeah.
font sizes.
That's more print.
Who didn't even want to go
To
through
read
it?
it.
He was telling me, okay, now, even that one is part of the processing fee. I prefer them that they type the whole thing in larger font sizes and you take a whole thing like this, then they'll increase my processing fee. It's something that you're supposed to give it to me. Why would you be charging me for it?
That's right. So, risk associated with pricing of credit. Performance risk associated with pricing of credit. Borrower does not pay. Need to adjust rate based on borrower's credit profile to avoid adverse selection. Because especially people normally sometimes they disclose certain risks and things. So these are some of the risks that you have to be aware of. Interest rate risk, again, if you don't do projections and right kind of the environment is, you may get it wrong. So you have to be careful of that in terms of pricing. Tactical issues in pricing of consumer credit.
There's another risk.
Yeah.
Rates.
Yeah.
That's
Exchange.
another risk.
Yeah.
And it started negative.
Negative.
Quite recently, it was a battle
Yeah.
for most people had mortgages in dollars.
Wow.
Yes, because you have to source for the dollar
Yeah.
to be able to make your repayments.
Well, that's why people do the forward contracts. Just to,
And I think some consumers were complaining about MTN, I said MTN, multi-choice, that TV, what
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
CSTV. So when the flip side happened, they still maintained
Yeah, rates.
their rates and people were still paying them.
No, for them, they use the dollar. They always use the dollar. So whether it goes up or comes down, they just have to convert it and pay what's there.
Yeah, but there was some campaign on Facebook and it was on Star FM. People were complaining that they hadn't adjusted their price.
Our problem is they
When the dollar went down, they were still charging.
For their services. We learned the reason why that campaign came about was we learned other countries like Nigeria and Mauritania or something. They charge. It's like Ghana is only
play that here.
But the traders were taking advantage of
Yeah,
that.
but they are taking advantage. If you have better content from other TV
TV
stations,
station, they wouldn't be doing that.
I think the new companies that try to challenge them, they all went down. And the other one that can also challenge them, they bought it. So
They got a
GTV came, GTV.
Because we don't have anti-competition laws. So.
There's nothing that all the tele stations they are showing this technology.
Alright, so tactical issues. Consumers typically ignore non-interest dimensions of credit. It's true. People always look at what? The payment, the interest rate. They forget that there are penalties that they have to pay before. So, how much? What's the interest rate? That's all they're interested in. So they don't ask about penalties because they think it won't happen to them. Then total cost of transaction, example, total lease payment may be very difficult for consumers to estimate. Sometimes again, people are looking at the base figure. They're not looking at the length. So they will give you, you think that you're paying, comparing two companies, this one is 300, this one is 150. So 151 is good. But meanwhile, you're paying over some period. They use certain durations to work it out in a way that you wouldn't even see. Yet you see that by the end of it, you are paying more on that. Truth in Lending Act, do we have that here? Disclosure. And like we were saying, the items that make up the price, do we disclose that to customers?
No.
they will say sign here. Then when they finish typing, they say
And the processing fee, what do you just like, okay, processing
You're not being fair when you say that nothing goes into the process. Let me help you out. So Fidelity is charging 1% for that. I'm ignoring the 2.5. This is what they do. That's what they do. Now they take your application. If they take your application, they have to input the data. Alright. Which one is already there?
The system where you have
They're taking from your employers and all that. All these ones, they need to make phone calls.
all these ones, you didn't process for you.
Which
You
one?
didn't have that process. You were attending to
But this is processing ongoing. It's ongoing. Now we need to call your employers to corroborate there and are taking the action. Now that's a phone call, alright? Now,
you own your own business.
I'm sorry.
You let me finish. Who are you going to call?
Are you going to allow me to finish so that? Because in your own business, you be asked for referees. Nobody will give you loans without getting referees. You have to call these referees, right? So this is a phone call aspect of the processing. Now, after the details are taken, you know there should be scanning and all that, which you are not aware of. Now, this scanning, because we don't want to do any hard copy issue where when it gets sent, won't have any bit of which is insured anyway, 1.66%.
I'm paying for the insurance.
You are paying for the insurance.
Yeah, but which is still part of it. That's how come you do the APR, the annualized percentage rate.
Yeah.
All these rates will be spread over your loan. So the fee is
You are paying insurance. The insurance is something.
so you realize that the person, how come you are ignoring even the phone calls, the scan? The electricity, you see, it's not like this. It's not like you bought the phones and then we just did a claim for your loan to be dispersed. Credit bureau, we need to contact credit bureau to authenticate you as an individual. Now we go to legal screening to make sure that we are not crediting to somebody who is into any fraudulent tax. You know, all these things go.
But assuming you're going for.
No, we're not assuming right now. It's
or something on that 200,000 for processing.
So you see, you just mentioned 20,000 or 200,000. That is like moving 10%. Who will charge?
No, even if they are charging 1%.
For the process. This is for the process.
You see the whole
Oh, that's
Let's finish up. Thomas, let's finish up. So again, pricing savings products. We have check account, savings account. Obviously, we know that two general approaches: fees, explicit pricing, balances, which is an implicit price. So you charge on the fees. You charge fees on maintaining the account, and then again on the balances. Sometimes you use the customer's deposit to do it, to lend, and then you get some money on it. That way you don't disclose to the customer how much. So in a way, you indirectly are charging the customer, on their money. That's why we say it's implicit, because you earn something on it, you don't disclose it, you keep it. So indirectly, you're actually charging the customer for balance. So your balance example.
One last question.
Yeah.
If you're going for a loan, does it profit just the customer or it profits the bank?
When you're going for
a loan, it profits the bank.
It's supposed to profit both ways.
But why then would they charge you so much for something that will profit you?
They will tell you that they are borrowing somebody's
See,
money.
the intermediate thing.
That's what they will say.
What is happening is that remove the bank from the equation and then put yourself face to face against it. Do you run the risk of losing the money?
Sure.
So that's what they're charging you.
That's why they have the high interest rates on it.
So you have free checking with minimum balance. The average account has 500 in assets. Annual interest and by us due to our lending and investment. Alright, so you get 10% out of the bank. So we charge the average account this amount. You get it. So even when you have your balances there, the bank is indirectly charging you.
For instance, a checking account, because we know you can come for the money at any time, it makes sense for us to charge you or commission on turnover. Right, but with the savings account, sorry, we charge. We are not doing parity pricing because our fixed deposit will give for 1,000 to 10,000. We're only giving you 5% for the year.
That's annual.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm sure that people are competing with treasury bill rates. Yeah, so they're not doing parity pricing. We give our customers a reason to come for a fixed deposit at 5%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Monthly fees, 10 maintenance and 30 transaction fees is 500 a year. Anyway, so fees versus balances. A balance system may encourage customer acquisition and facilitate cross-selling. A balance system is highly interest rate sensitive. So, securities, again, trading fees is at that, advisory service fees, full line versus discount brokers. So, those who work in brokerage, you have that. Early withdrawal penalties, example, mutual funds, mutual funds, when you withdraw, you get charges. Asset management fees again. The rest of it, I'm sure you guys can read it. Pricing insurance products. Let's see, actuarial tables, probabilities. This one we should have actually done that to calculate it. You know, pricing of life insurance. So you have mortality table meals, age between these, death pair, alright, and then life expectancy. So you work according to how many people you can aggregate in terms of, you know, and then you predict how many people are supposed are likely to lose their lives, you know, over a period of time. I think we should have actually done this computation. But yeah, what will come next week, we can do that before we start. So computing premiums for 100,000 term life policy for a 30-year-old male simplified. So assuming that you have 10,000 such policies are sold, 17 of these 10,000 policyholders will pass away with this year. Alright, so you have that estimation. Expected payout is what? 17,000 times 10,000 is equal to 1.7 million. So that's how much you are expected to pay out. Premiums paid at the beginning of the year by the 10,000 clients should cover this amount in order to break even. So you have 10,000 this policy premiums multiplied by the premium will give you what? 70 million. So it will be that divided by that will give you the premium. You get it? So you've got to work out how many people you expect to die. You know, in the frame. And then you've got to have some of these tables. I'm sure one will come next and we'll do the math. When you go home, try your hands up. Look at how much you have to sell the, you know, the policy in order to recoup that money, just in case the 17 people die. But you should be able to cover, you know, the payout. Anyway, thanks very much for coming.